I have a voice. I have always had a voice. I have always been an extremely loud person. The only problem was I didn't understand the purpose and the power behind my words. About 18 years ago, maybe 2 years before I was born, my mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a disease that literally tears holes into her brain, causing the messages from her brain to her body to be completely cut off. Slowly, her body began to shut down. First her legs, then her arms, then her voice, and then finally she was unable to eat anymore. My whole life, I felt as though I needed to take care of my little brother. I felt like he was my number one priority. He needed clothes in the morning, he needed breakfast in the morning, and I wanted to make sure that that bully in his classroom was not bullying anybody anymore. Since I was 4 years old to 15 years old, I was haunted nightly by the smell of hospital bedrooms, bad cafeteria food, and it haunted me since today. There were nights that the doctor would come up to me, my little brother, and my dad and tell me, "Your mom is not going to live into the next 24 hours." Somehow, she found the words inside of her, and it can only have been from God, and she looked those doctors in the eye, and she said, "You don't know my God." I started to lose hope. I started to think, maybe I could never be the kid that I wanted to be. I could never grow up the way that I wanted to grow up. Maybe my little brother was never going to come home to a dinner that his mom made. Maybe my dad was never going to be able to stop worrying about his family and his wife and his kids. Somehow my mom, losing her voice day by day, still found the strength inside of her from God and said to the doctors and the therapists and to anybody who doubted her and said, "You do not know my God." Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans to prosper you and not to harm you. They are plans to give you a future and a hope." My plans might include bathing my mom with my dad in the morning. They might include feeding her through a tube that goes directly into her stomach. But more importantly, my plans include having a voice that God has given me. My life has not been controlled by multiple sclerosis. God has talked to me in my whole life, and I just finally started to listen, and he said, "They don't know your God." And he has given me the power to say, "You do not know my God." If you are in this field right now and you think, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to speak out? How am I, little me or big me, supposed to tell people that I love God and they start to hate me instantly? Well, I'm here to tell you that on a field, something like this, about last year, God spoke to me for the first time. And I've been a Christian my whole life. And I heard him say, "You are called to be a speaker and a listener for children." At first I thought, I could never be a Ryan Brewer. I could never be a Wes Davis. I could never be a Brian Lindgren. But he said, "No, you can't, but you can be a Zoey." And I finally started to realize that my voice was more important than I thought. And I'm here to tell you that your voice is more important than you could ever imagine. Jasenia Remba, I just wanted you to know that you are my girl. You know you're my girl. I wanted you to know that I think that coming to camp last minute is the best decision you can make in your entire life. I know that God is working through you slowly but surely, and I know that your voice can be heard from across the freaking country. I know that your voice will be heard across the freaking country. I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I wanted you to know that you have a voice. Paige Oman, where are you? Where's Paige? Paige Oman? Man, you're my girl too. I love you so much, and I could not be more proud to be your friend. You have the loudest voice, and not physically, but metaphorically. I see you in schools. I see you at church. I see you on the street. I see you at youth, and people listen. You have a voice, and God is working through you, and I'm so proud, and I'm so happy to call you my friend, and you have a voice. I'm here to tell you guys that no matter how hard the situation is, how hard my situation is, how hard your situation is, I have a voice, and you have a voice, and we have a voice.